Hola, bienvenidos al quinto y último día del Festival Stop Motion México. Me presento, soy Magali Gutiérrez, la productora del festival. Damos inicio a la masterclass de Verónica Solomón. Ella es cineasta, animadora e ilustradora independiente. Su filmografía de dirección incluye Love Me, Fear Me, con quien ha ganado múltiples premios y ha sido seleccionada en diferentes festivales alrededor del mundo. Third Date, Cleaning Date, Night of the Living Treats, Carry On, son algunos de sus trabajos. Vamos a comenzar con la masterclass. Bienvenida, Verónica.
Hola, discúlpeme, pero mi español no es tan bueno, pero por eso voy a tener el masterclass en inglés. So, English from here. Yes, so I've been invited very nicely from the festival because of the fame my graduation film, Love Me, Fear Me, gained. So for each of you who didn't see it, you can watch it now before my presentation.
Undenkbar!
So yes, every time I see it, I see even more mistakes. As I said, this was my graduation film from the Film University Babelsberg. And let me say a few words, and then we're gonna go on with the presentation. Yes, so the film was my graduation film, and I'm not. I haven't trained, like during my studies. I didn't really train to do stop motion, and when I had to choose a project, somehow the subject chose the material in which I'm gonna do my film. So now, yeah, I can show you this this keynote presentation that I made actually for my exam, in which I explain a bit the process behind the making of. So a little bit about the concept first. I don't know if you are familiar with the idea that love and fear are the two forces that rule the world, and yeah, whatever we do, it's either driven by love or by fear. And also in the background is the need of the people for acceptance and belonging, and also the ability to transform oneself in order to be accepted. So the idea was to play the individual against the society, in which the individual was the performer on the stage, and the society is the audience that kind of dictates what they want to see. First step was the character design, which wasn't very complicated. I drew like intuitively the characters, and only afterwards I realized that they're actually archetypes. Like we have, sorry, the names are in German. We have the fool, the goddess, the warrior, and the wizard or the witch. So it was also a purpose of mine to make this film universally intelligible, so that people coming from different culture could understand what's going on. And that's why I didn't choose to give my character a very human appearance. This is how the characters look in the end. And the next step of the process was the storyboard, in which I kind of envisioned this empty stage and the stages of transformation to which the character will go. Yeah, the storyboard was much longer. This is just a short example. Very exciting. It was the choreography development. Even if my teachers encouraged me to do the dancing on my own, I realized I do not. I cannot. It's a different language. It's a different type of art that I do not master. So I was very, very lucky to meet two extremely talented dancers and choreographers, Marta Hincapié and Gabriel Galindez Cruz. They are both Colombians and live in Berlin for a long time. They both have extremely exciting careers, and they were so nice to help me with this project. They understood the message behind it, and they did fantastic work to help me develop the movement for the characters. So this is what we did 1 month long. We all danced and moved and tried out different phrases and different approaches to each character. And in the end, I had some 3 hours of material recorded, which I watched over and over again, and I just handpicked different movements, which I put together in animation, first in 2D. Like first I drew basically the whole film in a very rough form, which is the animatic, which look more or less like this. So these are a couple of clips from the animatic, in which I decided the actual moves that each character will be doing. And from this, I went to build my stage, which was really, really simple. Yeah, here you can see this was my setup in the basement of the Film University in Babelsberg, where I worked for about, more or less 1 year, like building the stage, setting up the cameras and the lighting, and then trying out different types of clay and different types of armatures. And then in the end, actually animating, it took me 12 months. At the beginning, I tried a ball and socket armature, and I even did a test with it. This is even the 3D version. But then it turned out that no, ball and socket doesn't really work well with clay, at least not with clay the way I intended to use it. So I went back to this very, very simple, like basic wire armatures. If you see here that the legs, they are enforced with some iron pegs, which were essential because they were supported on the stage the stage was made of steel, and they were fixed on the stage with magnets. So this was and as I mentioned, 3D. Another experiment I did with this with my film was that I shot everything in stereo 3D. So there is a 3D cinema version of my film. In the end, transposing the movement from 2D to clay looks pretty much like this. The more I got accustomed with the material, the more I took liberties to go beyond the planned animation. So the movements became wider, and I added elements. Yeah, the post-production, as I mentioned, I shot everything in stereo 3D, and that made everything unnecessarily extremely complicated. This is what you see here is the setup in Nuke that I had for doing for cleaning up basically the rigs. And this took another 3 months or more. Yeah, this is in short the making of. Yes. So it was my film acquired quite a bit of attention worldwide, and a lot of after releasing it online, I also got a lot of questions about the making of. So there's also a making of video on Vimeo, on my Vimeo channel. Are there already some questions?
Hi, I'm Marilu. I'm going to help you with the questions. Hi, Veronica.
Hey, hello.
Okay, here are some questions. Actually, it's pure prize for your work. Everybody's saying pure genius, really cool. You're freaking awesome.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much.
Okay, I have some questions.
Yes, please.
Why did you decide to shoot in stereo 3D?
It was an experiment. Like back then when I started, like the film was produced between 2015 and 2017.
Okay.
So in 2015, when I started, 3D was still a thing. Was still like wow. And the school has bought this stereo slider that's specifically designed to work with dragon frame and specifically designed to be used in stop motion. And nobody has used it. And somebody said, so yeah, why don't you try it out? I had no idea what I'm getting into. I had no idea it's going to make everything so much longer and so much complicated. But I have to tell you, when I saw the final result on a big screen in 3D, I was like, wow! Like to see the character coming out of the screen,
it was worth it.
It really adds another level of this, because it's just visual. It doesn't have much of a story. It doesn't have backgrounds. Just this plasticity, this volumetry of the characters. It gets enhanced with the 3D. I mean, it's worth seeing it, but like from more than 150 festivals in which was shown, only 5 showed it in 3D.
Oh.
Really, really painful.
That's so sad. You need another screening, like see
in a
it
museum.
in 3D.
It's gonna be like in a museum of the 3D, the lost technology of stereo 3D.
Yeah. Another question I had, I mean, the response from the audience has been overwhelming, but I was wondering if you have any particular different responses from different ages of the audience who have seen this. I mean, how the kids react, and how do middle-aged people react? For example, is there any difference in the reactions of the movie?
Yes,
Okay.
of course, because a person who has lived through some things, like, I'm very touched when people really get it, because it's not very. I didn't try to make my idea very clear. Like, some people interpret it as in like a gender identity issue,
Oh, so
which
it's
I'm
open
also,
to
like,
interpretation.
I'm happy about it because it was included in a lot of tolerance and acceptance programs run by some festivals. And I didn't see this film as being for kids.
Oh,
It was a concept thing in my head, but of course nothing happened. And my 3-year-old son, I didn't mean to show it to him. He has no idea that it's my film. He doesn't really make this connection that this is mommy's film, but he loves it. He absolutely loved it. He loves it more than he likes cartoons that are made for preschool. I was amazed. I was thinking, like, yeah, this is too abstract. This is not really for kids. It's not cute. Doesn't have a narrative, but kids actually love this kind of animation. This was a surprise.
that's really interesting, because
Yes.
the interpretation, as you said, now, because of the different age and if different life experiences everybody has.
Yes. Like,
I have a question.
The adults, they intellectualize it. They go through their experience, and they're like, yeah, this really, like, also the comments in Vimeo, like, a lot of people say, like, yeah, thank you for depicting this human nature thing in this, like, poetic way. And like, yeah, it's good. I'm happy when people get it.
Everybody interprets it differently.
Yeah, and I totally agree with this, because it's a universal language. Like, as I said about the archetypes, they mean so much more than I put into them. And I'm okay with them having their own message and speaking their own thing to different audiences coming from different cultural backgrounds.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, I have a question from Renen Adar. Are there any specific animations which inspired you in this project?
Yes. Can you guess which was? Because I was really surprised. One of the dancers, he recognized what I'm. It was basically a quote, but so I'm very influenced. I've been influenced through my whole style development from Japanese animation.
Okay.
And like Evangelion, it's for some people very obvious in the design of the warrior, like like mecha robots. I mean, you could see at some point in my setting that there's some printouts of mecha robots. And also Akira inspired me very much in this destruction phase in the end.
The transformation of the main character, right?
Yeah, like the self-destruction, like this. And I studied, before studying animation, I studied fine art, and with a major in ceramics. And I absolutely hated all the art history I had followed. But you know, like all the antiquity and medieval things and the Indian temples and the Egyptian, and if you look like very in details for all the character designs, there's something from it. There's something from Hieronymus. There's something from, you know, and I didn't have to make an effort to do research, to try out different things. It just was all there. Like everything that I hated being put in my head for years,
it all paid
off. Actually was finally used to something.
It did stick.
Yeah.
Okay, we have another question. How did you how did the story come about? I mean, you already said something about it, but in a nutshell.
Yeah, well, the detailed version is that I actually had a relationship, a very consuming relationship with a person who developed a mental disorder, especially because he was always trying to speak other people, like to please. He was a people pleaser, so he always tried to fit in, to you know. How to say, to transform his own personality, to distort his own personality to fit the group or the situation he was in. And at some point, he just snapped. He was like, really, he went gaga, like psychiatric ward gaga.
Whoa.
And yeah, we were together at the time, and it really affected me. It's a really long time ago. Really, I was 20 years old. I have like a previous lifetime.
It sounds intense. The experience.
Yes, stick with me. And I was like always thinking, like going back to it, like how can I tell this story? How can I tell, like it is a universal story. We all have in us this need to be accepted and this need to belong, and we all, adjust ourselves because this is living in the society. We're social animals. Everybody does this to a certain degree. But if you do it too much, like it goes into pathology, and then it goes into this like extreme turmoil, and you lose control over your core identity. So that's the actual background of the story.
Okay, thank you for the insight. I mean, that's intense.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's good that you could catharsis the experience like this in an artistic way. Now, about the artistic process, I have another question. What is your creative process?
It's different. It's different from project to project. As I said, I'm not a stop motion animator. If you look in my background, I'm a 2D animator. I think this is why this film is so particular, and maybe it seems very impressive for people used to stop motion aesthetics, because I think and I animate as a 2D animator. I need this whole squash and stretch and all the the speed lines and everything, and I try to put this in stop motion, and I manage to a certain degree. Like I only see mistakes if I look at my film right now.
Okay.
I hope I get the chance to do another one in this technique. But I think that's something that makes it special, is that I'm a 2D animator. I draw. Drawing is my second nature. And this is also why I needed to actually draw the whole film from the beginning to the end in 2D, because I cannot think as a stop motion animator. Like for me, it's absolutely unimaginable to have the movement in my head. No, I have to put it down first, draw it, stretch it, compress it, change it 1,000 times before I actually go and animate in stop motion.
Okay. In that topic, is it another question? Is it more easy to you to work in this project or in another project that you would want to do about dancing? Would it be more easy to you to work with clay or puppets in dance scenes, or just would you go along and do it in 2D? For a future project, for example.
For future, as I said, I wish to do something like this again. Hopefully with clay, hopefully also based on dance. But of course, easiest is for me 2D. If we talk about shorter way from idea to end result, for me is 2D easiest. Puppets, I don't think I can do that. They're too restrictive.
Okay. How much time did the production take? all along? You said that, but
I
in
said,
a nutshell.
yeah, altogether it took 4 years, but it's because of also the school, like we have to pitch an idea and then we go back and forth and before we actually start doing it. And I also took a semester off. I made internship with Juan Pablo Saramella in
Nice.
yes. Yeah, this was actually completely unrelated to the project, but it helped me a lot, of course. And I made I met the brilliant people from Can Club, and basically I didn't learn anything. I learned how to mix clay, but it was very, very informative to watch them work and to just be among them.
Mm-hmm.
And this was 2 months, and then I went a little bit through South America. I traveled unrelated to animation.
Well, still, those are experiences that might help you in future works, right?
Definitely.
Okay, another question. Did you have any more characters in mind, others than the characters you portrayed, the 5 characters you portrayed?
Well, I did play with the idea to make it a little bit longer, like to have the character go through more phases. There was supposed to be a yellow character also, like a sort of like a greed god, something. But then it's also like something that we are being taught in the school is like to keep it short.
Okay, so it was time-wise, the decision?
Yeah, I mean, the school works usually like a production company. They tell you like, yeah, this is doable, this is not doable. And they kind of told me this is not doable. And my mentor, Gil Alcabet, who's also very famous animation filmmaker, he said like, I think you can do it. So like, it's gonna be difficult. It's gonna cost you something, but you can do it if you really put your mind to it. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And I almost quit, I don't know, 4 times during production because I realized this is really something that I have no idea what I'm doing.
And still, it was very beautiful work.
Okay, I actually see the question also.
Okay, from Tal?
Yeah. So how many people worked in this shot? Basically, it was me. This is from the school because every student has to do his own film.
Oh, okay.
At least in animation. Because the school also has like a direction studies, acting studies, and they usually work together, like direction, script writing, camera, acting. They work together, they do projects together. And animation is just, we are on our own. We do everything, like script design, it's author films. And in the end, there's students from the film music department and sound design that come and do this. Yeah, and I had camera help. Like the camera student made the lights, and I had help with the stereography from a professional that was hired by the school to help me with this because nobody knew what is this. How do we do this?
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I have another question here from Tal Cantor. I'm sorry if I didn't say your name right. Can you please elaborate further on the stage of the transition from the choreography to the animation interpretation? Have you already imagined the clay animation during the shooting?
Yes. So it was more like this. I designed the characters, and I already, like during the storyboarding, I already put some poses, and I already had an idea about how they need to move, like like more like round moves for the fool, and like sensuous moves for the goddess, and very like martial moves for the warrior. And then I told this to the dancers. So I was like, okay, so this character has to be lovable. He is the entertainer. He makes himself lovable. He's a bit ridiculous. Start from there, and then like the goddess is this mother, but also like the life and death character. So she's like invited, but also threatening,
like a primal character.
Mother temptress, the duality, and then you have to put this in the movement, and like this, I went like. Also with the warrior, has to be very martial, has to be very ample. He has to impress, like he wants to impress the audience. And then it was and we went like this, and then like I also had some reference videos, like from the this scene from Metropolis, for example, for the country. And I had this.
The dancing scene.
Dances for the warrior, and I even had something from Disney, from the Hunchback of Notre Dame. That was the for the wizard. There was this madman cardinal thing. He did have some performance, and I just threw everything at my choreographer. It's like, okay, something like that, but not really, but a little bit, and then we tried. We had 1 month, like 4 times a week, rehearsals, and we rolled around with balls, without balls, we jumped, I don't know. It was fun, but it was also work.
Yeah, I mean 3 hours of footage.
And then of course I knew what I want. But then it was like, okay, this movement goes with this other movement, but how about I put this movement on reverse? So I really took this like part that I liked, where the bodies looked cool, and sometimes I put the movement on reverse and I matched it with something from a total different footage, and yeah, basically the end choreography happened in the animatic. Like I didn't rotoscope. It was just reference, like reference different pieces and putting them together in the actual 2D animation.
Okay, and experimenting in different order and background, like you said.
Definitely, that was also a bit of work. Yeah, so you can understand now a little bit why it took 4 years.
Yeah.
This part with like looking for the dancers, working with the dancers, analyzing footage, selecting movements. It took about, I think it took about 6 months.
Was the background choice a happy accident?
Like no background, no.
No, not the background of the short, but the background of the footage of the dancers that you experimented with.
Yeah, no, it was just the environment where we worked.
Okay, there's another question here. How do you choose? I mean, I know you didn't have as such a team, but the team you did have that assisted you, how did you choose it? How did you have a chance to choose it?
You mean the choreographers? A little bit.
The choreographer and the person who helped you with the lights and the post-production, the sound. Did you have a chance to choose people, or were they available to you?
Yeah, it was more like that than me choosing, because with the school production you have to work with other students because the school doesn't pay for professionals. Like the stereographer was a exception because my film was an exception, and Zsolt Magyari, he was the one who collaborated with the school in many projects. Yeah, and also that you mentioned the music. like I was extremely lucky to get basically some teachers matched us, like me and Dasha Dauenhauer, the one who did the music, because I found her work amazing. Like she is exceptional. She's exceptionally talented.
I see. And last question.
Yes.
What can you talk about your future projects, the project you're working right now?
Yeah, I'm working right now for a film for preschoolers.
Okay.
I'm drawing. It's not this kind of a torture project. I'm just drawing on my peak, and
the one you like.
I'm really planning on doing another stop motion clay dance.
Yes, please.
I also I'm started looking for producers. Let's put this out there. Like I'm starting looking for producers for next clay
People, Veronica Solomon is looking for producers. You heard it here first. So we have an exclusive. Okay, so you're working on a children's project. Is it a series, a short film?
No, just one short, 4-minute short that.
Okay.
I got funding for it from the culture ministry in Germany, and yeah, because it's easier to get funding for children's projects.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
And I also wanted to do something for my kid, but apparently I don't know about what kids like. I found out meanwhile.
Well, either way, is it a story that existed already, or is it something you invented?
No, it's a bit of a nonsense from the games that I play with my kid.
So it's an original, a Veronica Solomon original.
And it's no story. It doesn't make much sense.
Well, it makes sense to your kid, I assume, no?
Apparently, it made sense to the people deciding on which project gets the money. So, because it also has to be shown to other kids, not to just mine.
Okay. The short and the making of you can find on Vimeo by name, right?
Yes, and also on YouTube.
Okay, Roberto, you can find the short on Vimeo and on YouTube by name.
Yes, Love Me, Fear Me, and Love Me, Fear Me making of.
Okay. Thank you. It seems we're wrapping up right now. So thank you very much, Veronica.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for the short. I am sure, as many other people here in Stop Motion MX and in Mexico, have enjoyed your short very much. As you said, everybody is personal interpretation at some degree, but still it's crystal clear the heart of the project. I mean, you have to accept yourself as you are. You can't be unidimensional. You have many layers, and you have to accept yourself and not part yourself to please everybody. I think it's really clear.
Yeah, or do it, but don't overdo it.
Yeah, don't go crazy about it. Yeah. So thank you, Veronica. Thank you, everybody who is part of the... Oh, somebody's asking if we can show the short again on closing the bonus. Can you show it again?
It's not me who put it. It's
okay.
Okay, Melissa. You can go. You can really. It's free to see online. You can find it on.
See. Oh, okay. I think it's no. We can't show it. You can see it online though. So.
Yes, you can see it by yourself on Vimeo. Or just look by the name, and yeah, I think we don't have time anymore.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Stop Motion MX. Wish you many more editions. I hope to get to visit one day.
Yeah, I hope for the next edition you can come and maybe do another masterclass.
Maybe when I have the new film, but
okay.
I wish many years at the festival. Thank you.
Gracias a Verónica Solomon. Por favor, estén atentos a la programación del día de hoy y muchas gracias por estar en este masterclass. Pues sigamos al aire.